Hi and welcome to another PowerShell quick tip video. So this video, we're not going to be covering just one commandlet. We're actually going to be covering a total of 3 commandlets, but they all have to really do with the same main one commandlet. There's just 2 additional commandlets that are used with it, and they deal with one specific file type, and that is the Markdown file type. Now, Markdown has been around for quite a while, I believe since 2004. And really, it's used to style and structurize text. And basically, when you open it up in a regular web browser, it usually gets transformed into HTML. And this way, you can actually view it. But if you open up the Markdown in a notepad, as we can see here, where I've created this basic Markdown file, we can actually see all the different characters that I use to say, hey, this is a header, this is a code block. But what's really interesting is PowerShell actually has a built-in Markdown file viewer, and you can actually set up the different options to actually change the ways that those would actually come up on the terminal. So let's first start off by just showing you guys the commandlet on how we can actually read that Markdown file. So what we're actually going to do here is we're going to do the show-markdown, and then you're going to do a dash path. And then you're going to point it to the path of your Markdown file, which I have the markdown.md here. And we can actually see the Markdown file then get visualized in our PowerShell terminal here. So this is really handy, especially if you are working regularly with Markdown files, as they are used for AI skills. And a lot of developers are starting to kind of share out their documentation in a Markdown format as well. And it is just a very nice way to, again, structurize and format your documentation. But I'm not going to actually cover how to write them. But if you guys do want me to make a video on Markdown formatting, please let me know in the comment section down below. So what we actually have here as well, so now that we've been able to display the Markdown, we can actually see quite a few different things going on here with the style. So here we can see that it's kind of like inverted the black and gray here. This one is underlined and has a yellow color. This one is very similar to the inversed colors here. This one is blue. This one is just a regular white text here. So what we can actually do is do a show, or actually it is a get dash Markdown option, and this will actually show you, and quite in a live view, show you how it would actually look like once you actually display the Markdown here. So we can actually see the header 1 through header 6, code, link, image, an emphasis bold, and emphasis italics here. So it does give us quite a lot of information, and what you're going to notice here, which might be very confusing at first, is going to be the values. And all these values start with a square bracket and then a number, and they usually end with M. Sometimes they don't necessarily end with M, as you can see here. A lot of these beginning ones will not. And what this is an actual ANSI escape code. So what we can actually do here is let's go ahead and let's open up a new browser here on Edge. And what we can actually do is if we go to just google.com here and we do show, let's go get dash Markdown option. And what's going to happen, it's going to show us our Microsoft documentation here for the get dash Markdown. Now, what you're actually going to notice here is the get dash Markdown at one point will actually describe the ANSI escape codes here. So if we actually click on that, it's going to open up a Wikipedia page, which is going to go into detail on how exactly this came about. And if you scroll down far enough here, we are actually going to see what the different numbers actually mean. So here we can actually see select graphic rendition parameters. So we can actually see here that 7. So if we go back into our PowerShell here, which is headers 1 is 7M, which is header 1, and we can see our header 1 here. So we can actually see that that 7 means reverse or invert, swap foreground and background colors. So that makes sense. Header 2 starts with a 4, which is underlined, which that makes sense as it is underlined, and then it has a semicolon 93 here. So if we actually scroll down, you can actually see set bright foreground color and set bright background color, and it'll tell you the color ranges. But if you actually just scroll down a little bit further, we will actually see all the different colors here. So we can actually see that 93 is a bright yellow, which definitely seems accurate there. So you can easily use this Wikipedia page to set up your colors and your different options. That's what I would recommend. And now if we just want to actually go ahead and test that out here, let's go ahead and let's change this header 1 from, we're going to remove the invert. We are going to add the italic, and we are going to add an underline to it as well. So let's go ahead and let's set that up here. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to do a set dash markdown option. And because we want to do the header 1, it's going to be header 1 color. And then we're going to do a space, single quote, and then we're going to do our square bracket. Now for italic, it was the number 3. Then we're going to do a semicolon, number 4 for underline, and then we're just going to put our M here for that nice graphical detail here. So let's put that in, and let's go ahead and let's do the show Markdown once again, and now we can actually see that it did change to italic and an underline, and it removed that inverted color. And now if we actually do the get markdown option, you will also notice that it also has updated with that little preview of what it's going to look like. So if you don't really know how it's going to look like, maybe you don't have a markdown file that has what it would look like, if you actually just do the get markdown option, you'll get a little preview at how that would actually look like. So that is really, really, really handy. And now I did mention that M here that appears nearly at the end of every line except before the semicolon. And what that is actually your line ending character. So that defines the end of all of your settings for that option here. So you're always going to end with the M and then start with that square bracket. That is really important. Anything in between, if you are doing multiples, as you saw, you're just going to put in that semicolon. So that is really how you can actually interact with, you're not really interacting with, but how you can display a markdown file in PowerShell and kind of modify the PowerShell options for how you can actually display it. Now there is one more option that you can actually do as well, which is the show markdown. And then there is one more parameter here that you can actually do, and that is use browser. So if we actually show that here, now if you haven't set that up to have a default application, you're going to get prompted just like this. And then you're going to pick the Microsoft Edge here, and then it will actually convert that markdown into an HTML file and show you how that would actually look like in a browser. So there are a lot of different options. Of course, if you are on a kind of like headless machine, well, not headless machine, but just a CLI machine that has no graphical user interface, being able to use this, especially on a Windows server or something like that, you can easily actually view a markdown file and not need a browser or anything else like that on your machine. So that is something that is quite handy, or if you're just through a remote session and again don't have access to that GUI, this is a great way to be able to read markdown files without having to kind of just read the actual text file and go through that formatting all on your own. Let PowerShell do that nice display for you. Now, if you guys would like me to do another commandlet for these PowerShell quick tips, please let me know in the comment section what command you would like me to show on the channel, and I will do my best to do every single one of them. If you haven't already, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well, and be sure to hit that notification bell to be notified when that next video comes out, and I will see you guys on the next video.